Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, September 1st, 2019. It's me, Teri Hunter, and I'm here with your messages from the angels for the week of September 1st. We're going to go by astrological rising sign as always. So welcome back, everybody. First order of business is, unfortunately, we did not have a winner this week. The number was 176. Where is it? Can you see? 176. Wow, that lighting is bad. Kind of can see it that way. Anyway, we had someone who picked 178, but oh well, that was too far away. So we'll try again. Remember, it is numbers 2 through 500 for an opportunity to win a half-hour free reading with me. Every week we do that, and then you have 1 week to claim your prize. Good morning, small wildflowers. Good morning, CC pups. So good to see everybody. Happy Labor Day weekend here in the United States. Hi, Stacy Martin. Welcome. Okay, so as usual, for those that are new, each week we play a game. So you can win a half-hour free reading. I also do an animal totem each week. And this week I was called to bring rabbit up. And I know most of us think about rabbit as being prolific. Bunnies multiply easily and effortlessly. But there are some other things that are kind of interesting about the rabbit totem. So I took some notes. The first thing is that rabbit is inherently instinctual. It is a prey animal, so it must be very aware of its surroundings. It is also known for, where's my little note here? There's something about rabbit that says to pay attention to if you're nurturing your instincts. Are you paying attention to your energetic body? Because if you think about it, coyotes eat rabbits, all sorts of, critters out there eat the rabbits. So I think what rabbit is calling forth this week as we go into have all this Virgo energy, the stellium in Virgo, is to, while we want to be practical and to see the road ahead, we also want to allow our energetic bodies to have a voice and to pay attention to that and to nurture that. Also, not to box yourself into a corner. That's another thing. When you're a prey animal, you always want to make sure you have an out. So for this week, while you're contemplating all of your dynamics and moving forward, give yourself an opportunity to look about where you're being practical with what you can see and where your instincts may be conflicting with that practicality, and then give spirit an opportunity to open up a sign, a road, a clear path. And I want to say this week we have the moon enters Scorpio. So Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And so in that, again, feelings will intensify, being able to dig deep, to paying attention a little bit more to what are my instincts saying? And then also trying to discern whether or not those instincts are truly intuitive or whether there's something fear-based about them. So that's kind of what I want to go with that. So we've got rabbit as our totem. We want to kind of pay attention to our feelings this week and to see it, because this conjunction is getting more intense. This Pluto-Saturn conjunction is going to continue. Then we have the stellium in Virgo. So I feel like that's a little bit of a mind meld, because Virgo is so practical and earthbound. And then, Scorpio is so intuitive and intense and looking underneath for what's really there. So it could be a little bit of a this week. So allowing spirit to lead the way will make things a little bit easier. I want to welcome everybody. Hi, so great to see you all. Lady Gadivia, Catherine, Melissa, welcome back. Chicky, Penny, Bonnie, welcome back. Carrie, Portia, Holly, welcome everybody. Okay, we're going to go on to our, one other thing about rabbit. Rabbits are vegetarians. You may want to pay attention to your diet this week and to see how you are processing your food. Virgo rules the 6th house. 6th house rules health. That might be something. We're going into the fall season here. Summer is ending. So I thought that was really an interesting totem, because I've been really working hard to take my supplements and try to support my body in a more effective way. Okay. Hello, Sweden. Hi, Annette. Hello, Carrie. Gaia, Gala, Everybody, okay, so great to see you. Welcome. Oh, Seattle, yay. Okay, here we go. We are going to go backwards again. It seems to be my new thing. So we start with Pisces rising and work our way to Aries. It's kind of my way of balancing the scales. My Libra likes to balance the scales. So here we go. Let's see what's on the books for Pisces rising, moon, and sun. And again, if you have a stellium in your natal chart in Pisces, it's good to pay attention to that. It's going to be a strong influence. Okay. Quick little shuffle here. Okay. Our first angel for Pisces is Shanti. Our second angel is Archangel Michael. Our third is Caressa. And the final is Opal. All right. Okay. When I knock on the deck, guys, I'm knocking out any old energies that are in there. Okay, here we go. Joining Shanti is the Letting Go card. Joining Archangel Michael is the Joy card. Joining Caressa is the Truth card. And joining Opal is the Stag. All right, Pisces. Here's where I want to go with this. So Shanti is the angel of peace. She represents a smoother, more tranquil road ahead. She also will talk about moving whatever is disrupting that peace out. And this is the letting go card. The letting go card, in some ways, yes, it makes sense. I must let go of whatever is disrupting the peace. But to me, letting go is a resistant energy. So it's more about Shanti is asking you to step into what is the truth of your happiness? What is the truth of your peace of mind? What is it about the letting go card? If you guys watch me week after week, I talk about this card representing the song Let It Go in Frozen. It's funny how some distance makes everything look small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. This, to me, in some ways, for my Pisces rising, is about looking at your fears, looking about what is sitting in front of your face and what is a projection out into the future, and allowing whatever projection may be to step aside so that you may feel the tranquil peace that is being offered to you. Because I'm going to jump to the fourth position. Here is the angel Opal, and here's the Stag. The Stag is about leadership. It can also be about arrogant pride. Opal is specifically saying that God and the angels are are watching over your children on earth as well as in heaven. The way I want to put this for Pisces rising is I believe that letting go, the peace card and the letting go card, are about standing in leadership for the truth of what your soul is. To me, the youth of us, our smallest selves, between 5 years and under, we are closer to our soul's truth than we are as we age, because we get anchored into this human experience and we start thinking that it's real. And while it has a certain reality to it, it is a projection of our perceptions. And so I know that might sound a little esoteric and out there, but I'm saying that because for my Pisces rising, in my opportunity or my obstacle is Archangel Michael saying to have the courage to move towards the things that make you happy. What gives you joy? And in the angel's advice is Caressa. Caressa talks about the end of a life cycle, to call upon God and the angels to comfort and guide you as you go from one chapter to another. And there's the truth card. So what if, this is what I want to say for my Pisces rising, what if this whole idea of ushering in new peace is not about getting rid of people or places or situations, but about giving yourself permission to speak or to live or to express the truth that is you, what it is. You know, that song Let Go is about, it's funny how some distance, yes, but then it goes on to say, it's time to see what I can do to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me, I'm free. This is really a time on this planet's history where we are more and more encouraged to express who and what we want to be, you know, to allow ourselves to love who and what we want to love. And there's less survival for most people. You know, it's about, we're not just trying to, you know, eat and survive through the day. We're making other choices. So I feel like for Pisces, this is really a time to stand in leadership of the dreams of your own inner child, the one that incarnated and believed in magic, the one that believed in superheroes, and, you know, that dreams come true, and that there is good in the world. Okay, that's what I have to say for Pisces. Let's go on to our Aquarians. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Thank you, Gaia. I am doing well. I'm been very busy, and a lot of fun, exciting things have been going on since the stellium went into Virgo. I have been just almost, I feel like even in my sleep, I'm having all these creative thoughts. I've got a very exciting project I'm working on, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to be a while before I can really announce it, because it's kind of a long thing, but I'm very excited about it. So yeah, things are going great. I hope you guys are all taking advantage of this stellium in Virgo and kind of allowing yourselves to focus in on what you want, because it's kind of a good energy for that. And I think the Sun and Mars are conjunct. And while that can be a little argumentative, it can also be like the king and the general working together to create a dynamic that opens things up. Okay, I hope that made sense too. I kind of like a Sun-Mars conjunction, because I really think that a good king engages a good, fair army, like the Knights of the Round Table, like King Arthur did with Lancelot. So that's kind of my take on that conjunction. And if there are trines attached to it, that even plays more into that concept for me. Squares, maybe it's a little more argumentative. Okay. All right. Here we go. My Aquarians. Oh, Gaia, I hope to do a webinar as well someday. I think I've pitched a few ideas to Lada, but nothing's really stuck yet. So we'll work on it. The timing will be when the timing is. Candace, I do think it's important. If you have a stellium in a certain house, I absolutely think it's important to pay attention to it. That's a cluster of planets in a certain dynamic that's going to create a strong influence. So yes. And yet, okay, so this is how it goes for you guys that are kind of new for me. I like to start with the rising sign, because personally, I'm a Libra sun, but I'm an Aries rising and a Taurus moon, and my Aries rising is strong. So I like to start with that. Then I go to my emotional body, which is what my moon represents. Then I go to my sun sign. And if there's a stellium, I believe it's really important to pay attention to that, because that may not include those three personal planets and all the other planets, and it's still going to have a very strong influence on you. Okay, here we go. Aquarius rising. I hope that made sense, everybody. Welcome, Lunar. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome, Starry-Eyed. Joanna, did I miss anybody? Okay, here we go. You're welcome, Candace. All right, Aquarius, our first angel is Bethany. The second is Sonia. The third is Adriana. And the final is Azure. All right. And oh, you know what? I forgot I wanted to mention something, so I'm going to interrupt myself right now. I would like to officially wish Small Wildflowers a happy birthday last week. I was so busy, and she was doing such a great job moderating that I did not see until after the show that it was her birthday. I think we also had Bonafide's birthday as well. So I wanted to personally wish you a happy birthday and tell you that I'm so grateful that you incarnated Small Wildflowers, because you make this show amazing. And you're just this quiet little voice in the chat, but it's a very strong influence. And I'm just so appreciative. So I hope you had a wonderful day. And there may be surprises coming, but not for a little while, because we want you not to remember that we talked about it. Okay, here we go. With joining Bethany for my Aquarians is the Truth card. Joining Sonia is the Deer. Joining Adriana is the Letting Go card. And joining Azure is the Eagle. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so Aquarius. Bethany is a card of self-care. The Truth card is the truth of our heart. The self-care is this. Bethany will talk about getting a manicure or a pedicure, but this is a bigger picture, because when it's coupled with the truth, this is the self-care. It's allowing the truth of who and what you are. I'm always going to go, this is a time in the soul's ascension to allow for the deepest truth of our being to express itself. It's what this Saturn-Pluto conjunction is all about. bubbling up the imbalance, bubbling up the lies, bubbling up the deceptions, bubbling up the hiding behind someone else's agenda, or allowing ourselves not to be who we want to be. This conjunction, guys, only happens once every 184 years. I absolutely believe those that are contracted to be on this earth during this time have been here for a reason, because here is Sonia and the Deer card. Sonia represents a deceased loved one, but to me, with a group that could potentially be big like this, it is my guides, my angels watching over me. And it's a time to be gentle with myself and diplomatic as I allow myself to express myself. Here we go, the letting go card. You know, it's like, it's that whole idea of no right, no wrong, no rules for me. Let's see what I can do. And there's Adriana saying she's leading you towards the answers to your prayers, through your dreams, through your intuitions, through those subtle urgings. And then here, Aquarius rising, we have Azure saying that your desired outcome will happen in the near future. Have faith and don't try to force anything. Force is a resistant energy. And then here is the eagle. The eagle is the connection to the angelic realm. It's about integrity. It's about spirit. And all of this is the truth. This is where these two combinations, the first and the fourth, are really what this whole conjunction is about. Loving ourselves enough to allow the truth of who we are, having faith that the things we want will manifest, and knowing that God and the angels are supporting us during that time. And as we all start to step into this sort of energy of a be, do, have, what is my being energy? What do I believe about myself? What is my disposition? Then we go into our doing. That would be where we are gentle and diplomatic as we connect with spirit and allow ourselves to follow that inner knowing. That inner knowing is not always going to be, a beautifully paved stone path that has signs that says go this way. You may have to stand at the fork of a road and have to intuitively say what feels right, what feels the authentic way to go when everybody else is going the other way. That's what I want to say. And that's what this is all about. And I want to say this for my Aquarians. Again, Aquarius rising, moon, sun, stelliums. You're ruled by Uranus. Saturn is your ancient ruler, yes, but Uranus is a completely opposite energy. Where Saturn is restrictive and wants to follow the rules, Uranus is like, break the box, man. I'm shooting for the stars and nobody's stopping me. I'm going to do it my way. I'm free to do what I want. Hello, the letting go card. This is important, I feel like, for Aquarius to sort of start to give themselves the privilege of mulling over their own actual truth, and then sort of putting that truth up into spirit and saying, okay, if I'm brave enough to step out into that truth, do you have my back? Am I covered? Will I really experience it? And spirit will say, yes, let's show you how. And the harder that it is sometimes, or the more difficult the road may feel, and especially for a sign like Aquarius, because you're scientifically minded, you kind of, it's just, you're not a gullible sign that follows easily. So to be able to kind of allow yourself that privilege, and then seeing the wisdom of how you can sort of measure your results by your energetic being. Well, when I was this way, this is what started to happen. And then as I shifted, I started to see something else move in. I guess that's how I want to put it. Okay. On to our Capricorn goats. Love my goats. Thank you, Small Wildflowers, for the hair comment. Thank you, Victoria. I have to tell you guys, it's 85% humidity here today. And if I blew dry my hair for you guys, it would start all pretty when I started with Pisces. And by the time we got to Aquarius, it would be like this. So I just said, forget it. Okay, here we go. On to Capricorn. Jamie, Saturn, Mars, and Venus in Aquarius. That's a stellium I would pay attention to. I'd look at that. That's, Saturn and Mars are kind of contrary. Mars wants to move forward. Saturn wants to stop, look, plan. It's cool. Oh, thank you, Victoria. All right, here we go. What is up for Capricorn? So this is what I want to say. So I was thinking about this moon in Scorpio and this kind of, this crescendoing intensity that we're feeling, and we're seeing it's as we go into the holidays. Oh, I was studying this week, you guys, and I saw there's going to be an eclipse the day after Christmas. So as we creep into December, I just want y'all to be aware that, if you're feeling free floating anxiety, if you're feeling this kind of edgy, weird, like, I don't know what's going on, I just feel kind of creepy, that's this conjunction. That's this slow creeping together. And then, just sort of in some respects, surrendering or being gentle with yourself. If you're tired, take a nap, give yourself a little bit of a break. It will make all of these transits a little bit easier, because what I do believe is, for those of us that are paying attention and being intentional about where we want to sit in 2020 and 21, then these conjunctions and this eclipse or Uranus suddenly going forward again can all be the keys to the kingdom. It can be where everything moves and shifts towards where we want it to be. It doesn't have to be the sky is falling all the time. Okay, here we go, Capricorn. Our first angel is Xana. Our second is Seraphina. Our third is Opal. And the final is Maya. Okay. Yes, Candace, you should pay attention to Capricorn, and even more so because this conjunction with Pluto and Saturn is all happening in Capricorn. So depending upon what house it is, I'd pay attention to that as well, because if it's happening in your first house, it's going to be all about how you feel about yourself. It's going to be happening in your seventh. It's going to be about your partnerships. Happening in your 10th. It's going to be about your career, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. Whoop. All right, my Capricorns. Joining Xana is the cow. Joining Seraphina is the stag. Joining Opal is the cat. And joining Maya is the deer. Well, isn't that a lot of animals? It's a full-blown farm. Okay. Xana talks about protection. She talks about the worst kind of harm is behind you. And when I think of this, guys, I really think of it as emotional and spiritual harm. It's almost as if I've been through the wars a little bit, and now I've moved past it, because the cow is about abundance. It's about nourishment. It's about asking and receiving. And for my Capricorns this week, I really want to go to the aspect of asking and receiving. And this isn't about asking your partner or asking your boss or asking your mom or your dad for anything. This is about going to spirit. This is about engaging Xana's energy and actually saying to her, Xana, you've said to me, I'm protected in my financial body. I'm protected in what I want. If I ask, I will receive. And so I'm asking faithfully and thankfully for it. Now I'm going to jump to the fourth position, because Maya is the card of schooling and education. All right. Schooling and education is not, it can be traditional education, but for me, 99% of the time in this forum, it's going to be about my energetic education. Again, what is my attitude? What is my disposition? How do I feel about the situation? Because the feeling is going to set the precedent for the experience. Now here's the deer. The deer will be, this is a deer in the headlights. Okay. I'm not going to say it isn't, but it's also about being gentle and diplomatic, as I learned that fear is an empowerment exercise, that fear is not always meant to pull me under. Fear sometimes is meant to ask me how much I want it. How intentional am I willing to be? What is the price I'm willing to pay to live the dream I want to live? Because in your opportunity, your obstacle, my Capricorn rising moon and sun, you have an opportunity to really shift how you're feeling about yourself. I feel like, I'm single. You guys, I've told you this before, single, no kids, no family. But I'm a family inside of my head. I got a whole committee of people talking. And so this is where, as I stand in leadership for what I know that spirit is protecting me and bringing to me, I feel better about things. I trust things a little bit more. And then here's the angel's advice. The cat is about 9 lives, okay? And opal, I said this earlier, this particular card, especially in the angel's advice, is not necessarily about physical children. It's about the yearnings of a child, what a child dreams of, the magical things. You know, little kids believe that families are all happy all the time, that there's Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, and that Superman comes and saves the day. And so this is where I feel like Spirit has an opportunity for my Capricorns, who are so practical, to have a little magic restored into their lives. Magic that the unseen is supporting me. And as I stand in my being energy while I'm unsure, I will soon receive the things that I want, that will affirm and confirm that I am vibrating at the rate that I want to, in order to capitalize on that, right? Because Saturn is ruled by, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn likes to do things methodically and determinedly, and through disciplined action, and then it rewards. So this is where the reward comes in, guys. This is where, when you've learned how to manipulate your energy to support you instead of tank you. Okay. All right, here we go. On to our Sages. Candace, yes, that card is also, the cat also represents independence and healthy boundaries. And intuitively, I would go straight to you with healthy boundaries, you know, making sure that you're not over giving or over receiving. And in doing so, it'll strengthen you. You know, the thing about the cat, and people tend to think cats are aloof, but cats are aloof to those that are aloof to them. If you spend some time nurturing a cat's attention, that cat will love you like there's no tomorrow. It won't love you like a dog loves you. It's a different vibration, but it's a very loyal and trusted totem. So pay attention to cat. Okay, on to our Sagittarius. Rising, moon, and sun. You have a few more months with Jupiter in your natural sign, taking advantage of that energy. Okay. Give it a quick shuffle. All right. My Sagittarius, our first angel is Rochelle. The second is Archangel Gabriel. The third is Xana. And the final is Vanessa. I'm loving this so far. All right, joining Rochelle is the Fire Fairy. Joining Archangel Gabriel is the Communications card. Joining Xana is the Love card. And joining Vanessa is the Truth card. Okay, guys, so as I'm looking at this, I'm starting to really put it all together. Thinking about this conjunction that I talk about ad nauseum, right? But when I think about it, I also feel like the souls that are experiencing this are living in an unprecedented time, a time when the physical can support the spiritual's experience in creativity, in I want to use the word manifesting, but it seems too small to me, because it isn't about the actual manifestation. It's about the process of it and the empowerment of that process. Because here I go. Okay, wait, before I start, Jupiter rules higher knowledge. It rules connection to the angelic realm. It's the ninth house of beliefs, and people talk about foreign people, foreign places, foreign situations, but sometimes some beliefs are so foreign to us that we feel like we've gone to a different land when we start to incorporate them into our lives. So here we are. You've been thinking that the wood is solid. You've been thinking that you've got to work hard, but then you find out that this solid piece of wood is just a bunch of molecules that are vibrating super densely together. And then you start to shift how you're thinking about it. And as you do that, the universe starts to open up a different idea for you. And that's why your beliefs change and you feel like you've gone to a foreign place. Because, Sagittarius, Rochelle says, as I honor and follow the guidance of my heart, prosperity is coming to me. And there's the fire fairy, creative action and optimism. I really believe that for my Sagittarius, if you have creative ideas, this is a wonderful time to start to implement them, start to strategize with all this stellium in Virgo. It's a good time to get down and work hard on them, because prosperity is not just about money. Prosperity is a bigger picture. It's when I'm feeling purposeful and fulfilled because I'm birthing a bigger picture of myself. Because here is Archangel Gabriel and the communications card in my opportunity and or my obstacle. Archangel Gabriel talks about communications being integral to your life's path. At this time in history, communications is everything we do. Right now, I'm here communicating through the internet with y'all. This is about turning over my insecurities about whatever I'm nervous about with my own projects, because in the angel's advice is Xana saying that you're being protected. Do what you love. Trust love. It's time to trust what we love. It's time. We're so engaged as humans to trusting fear. We trust that our bodies are going to blow up and that we need to go get medicines to help our bodies. That's not true. Our bodies know what to do when we are vibrating in love, in happiness for the things that we want. When we honor and follow the guidance of our heart, our bodies respond to it. And therefore, it almost acts like a natural detox for the things that we may ingest that don't work with it. Because for my Sagittarius rising, moon and sun and stelliums, it's time to demonstrate some faith in your truth. And that's, again, going back to Rochelle saying, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, your creativity starts to flow. Your excitement for life starts to flow. And the truth of who you are and the faith that you've had in yourself starts to open things up. And then your job is to follow the steps, follow Spirit's natural opening of gates. When something goes easy, guys, when you come up with an idea and all of a sudden it feels like people, the situations, everything's just clicking into place, that is divine. That is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. If the opposite happens and the doors shut and things keep being, breaking down, then that's time to pause and to say to Spirit, what am I missing about this? What are you trying how are you trying to lead me? And then Spirit will open another door. Okay, so that's it. I'm very excited for Sagittarius. Continue to use your Jupiter energy for expansion, to look at your beliefs. And that was what Rabbit Totem was about too, about really looking at, are you nurturing your spiritual beliefs and your connection to the divine? Okay, on to our Scorpios. Good morning, Rod. Good morning, Love Breathes. Good to see you here this morning. Good morning, Arcudia. Good morning, McKenna. Great to see you. McKenna in Spain. You're in Spain. Fabulous. I hope you're having a good time and things are going well. Okay. Anybody else I missed? Okay. On to our Scorpios. Okay. Let's get this right. Okay. Good morning, S. Pilar. Okay. On to Scorpio. This is your moon. Well, I shouldn't say your moon. It's entering Scorpio. So this may really kind of intensify your intuitions and thereby intensifying your scrutiny of your did I say intentions? I meant to say your intuitions, because that Scorpio, that Pluto influence will make you look at things from a little bit more of a and I think it's more about I don't know if that made any sense. Oh, McKenna, I'm so happy to hear that Spain is working out for you. It sounds just beautiful. Okay. All right, Scorpio, here we go. Our first angel is Azure. The second is Oceana. The third is Athena. And the final is Omega. Well, that's fun. Okay. Joining Azure, we have the Love card. Joining Oceana, we have the Frog. Joining Athena, we have the Forgiveness card. And joining Omega, we have the Birth and the Rebirth card. Wow. Okay, so here we go. Scorpio. The Love card, Azure and Azure. Azure is saying your desired outcome will happen in the near future. Have faith and don't try to force it. And then this is the Love card. As I see this, I really see this as intimate love. Not necessarily love of self, but intimate love, wanting partnerships. And I feel like I feel like love is either coming or has started to spring for you, or is in gestational period. Because, and I say that because I'm going to go to the final position. Here's Omega, which is the victory card, and here's the birth and the rebirth card. I feel like when I look at this in general, that my Scorpios that may have had challenges in their love life up until now will find a wisdom to those challenges that in hindsight, you'll look back and you'll say, wow, somehow I really was being protected from what I thought I wanted, because what I'm experiencing now is richer than I could have anticipated before. Because here's Oceana and the Frog. And this is about, the Frog represents emotional cleanup, releasing of emotional baggage and cleaning your house and the house of the mind. And here's Oceana saying to take action to lovingly assert yourself. And how I see this is in relation to Athena. Athena is in the angel's advice. It's the forgiveness card, and it's about asserting myself. This is about asserting yourself, Scorpios, into a different story, a story where you win, where when whatever you have lost, whatever Pluto has destroyed so that you could be rebuilt, has been there so that you could experience deeper elements of love, and not just self-love, because self-love is awesome, and it is the main ingredient to feeling love outside of ourselves. But for this, I really feel like my Scorpios want to feel that love outside of themselves. They want to feel that time when they've met their partner, or that their partner is there and they're in that Pluto energy. Let's crawl inside of each other's skin. Let's be the yin to our yang, the peanut butter to my jelly. And so because of that, this is where I feel like, hang in there, Scorpio. Hang in there, because victory is to be had and a new beginning. And there'll be some wisdom to the idea that you didn't give up on yourself. You didn't go to the dark side. Instead, you looked at it and you said, I can do this. You're like Luke Skywalker, and you're going into that cave, to become the ultimate Jedi. And how did he do that? He had to confront his own fears. And I don't know if you guys remember, but when he goes in, he thinks he's fighting Darth Vader. It's this, fight to the death. And then Luke wins as he lobs off Darth Vader's head and it falls to the ground. It's Luke. It's his face. And he's like, oh my God. And then Yoda knows that he has been able to conquer that part, or at least be willing to look at that part of who he is that gets in his own way. Okay, that's where I'm going. It feels pretty good for the love sector. So if it's not happening right now, guys, this is also about having the faith and the patience and not forcing it because it's happening. Okay, on to my Libras. Here we go. Okay. Libra rising, Libra moon, Libra sun, Libra stelliums. Okay. Our first angel is Isabella. The second is Xana. The third is Vanessa. And the final is Maya. Okay. Hey, Steve. Welcome. Good to see you again. All right. Isabella is being joined by the Queen. Xana is being joined by the Bee. Vanessa is being joined by the Forgiveness card. And Maya is being joined by the movement card. This is pretty awesome. All right, my Libras. Yes, the timing is right for this new venture. Yes, victory is coming to you. And there's the Queen card. The Queen is about fertility. And when I say fertility, I really mean about being fertile, not just in the idea of birthing babies. This is about being fertile in how you look at life. Things come to me easily. Things come to me effortlessly. Anything I desire has the ability to be experienced because I have the Bee card and Xana. The Bee card is all about luck and victory, which is echoing exactly what Isabella is saying for you. And then I have Xana, the card of protection. This is your opportunity, Libra. And what I want to say is the angels are saying your faith will be rewarded. It will be, your faith your faith in yourself. Okay, this is not faith in anything outside yourself as much as it is in your contract that you made, evidenced by your birth chart and then subsequent progression chart, that you are on the path towards experiencing the things you want, the dreams you want, the dynamics you want, and that it's all there. The faith that you express, because this is the cool thing. You know, Libra is logical, especially Libra men. They're very logical and very practical. And like Virgo, but not, okay? And this is like where suddenly I've learned, Maya has taught me about my energy, and I'm actually seeing movement. I'm actually seeing evidence that I am living and experiencing the things that I want. The Queen's energy is about, it's about friendships. It's a social energy. It's about receiving. You know, the feminine receives, the male is action oriented. So in many ways, what I'm thinking about for Libra is this is about a trusting and a faith that, yes, I have implemented things. I have, let me back up here. I'm a Libra sun. Okay. So I told you guys earlier that I have this project I'm working on. A lot of the dynamics of the project, I don't know how they're going to come into play. It's like, I could worry about, this kind of equipment, or I could worry about what's going to happen over here, but I've been able to tuck into what's just right here. And as I can do that, then spirit naturally leads me to the next place. And then suddenly this great thing happens and this opportunity comes in. And then this person says, I can help you here. That's what schooling and education, the movement card, is about. That's what the Queen is about. It's about receiving help from those that want to support the bigger vision, and knowing that there's victory here, and that your ideas, your situations, the things that you want to experience are being protected. And in some respects, all you get to do is stand in that faith that says, you know what, it isn't about it happening tomorrow. It's just about it happening. Okay, I hope that made sense. It certainly made sense for me. And we're going on to our Virgos. And what a stellium. Okay, so this is the thing, guys. These planets, they're hanging out together for a while. There's going to be stellium, and it's going to drift into Libra. Then I think it's going to I think it stays in Libra, and then I think when it gets to the 8th house, it's going to start to drift. The planets move at different rates. But for a while, we're going to have this little cluster. So using that energy, looking for it in your chart, look in your natal chart, and then watch your transit and see if you can take advantage. Right now, I think that Virgo for me, because I'm Aries rising, is in my 6th house. So I really want to get down and start to take care of my physical diet, to start to pay attention to that and use that stellium to kind of anchor in a new way of eating, giving up some of those things that make my joints ache. Okay, we're on Virgo now. Here we go. Steve, you and your blue lotus flowers, you're funny. Okay. Candace, don't be afraid of it, the stellium. Just, don't think it's a bad thing. It's more about allowing yourself to use the energies in their highest vibrations. The 8th house is kind of cool, It's really, yes, it symbolizes the natural cycle of life and death, but it also symbolizes deep, rich connection. It represents sex and tantric sex and connection in that way. And that's not just getting laid. Oh, God, I don't know if that sounded weird, but okay, I'm going on. Okay, here we go. Virgo. Our first angel is Archangel Michael. The second is Caressa. The third is Yvonne. And the final is Oceana. Okay, here we go. Joining Archangel Michael is the King. Joining Caressa is the bee. Joining Yvonne is the cow. Joining Oceana is the Lady of the Lake. Wow, guys, this is pretty cool. Okay, so Archangel Michael is about courage. In this particular instance, while he is the great protector, he is about courage. And the King is about justice. It's about karma. And I want to say this for my Virgos. This feels very much like it's a time to start to really stand in the King's energy, to know it is just, fair, and right for you to move forward in the where you want to go. Because in the opportunity, the obstacles, Caressa, saying that you're at the end of a life cycle, that new happiness awaits in the next chapter. And then there's the B card, which is about victory. It's about sweet luck. And it's about knowing that your being energy is supporting the bigger vision of what you want. Because in the angel's advice is Yvonne and the cow. Yvonne, for me, always represents a card of vulnerability, a card of standing in an unknown place where I'm at a fork in the road, and I'm saying, I either join the herd and go with everybody else's idea of what I should be, or I stand alone in a road that only I can walk right now, because I know as I get further down that road, I will receive all the things that I want. Because Oceana and the Lady of the Lake are here in the final position for Virgo, asking you to have the courage to go back to your truth. Lady of the Lake holds Excalibur, and there is Oceana saying to take actions. Now, if you think about the idea of the angel being called Oceana, ocean represents Mother Earth. It represents the feminine. It represents receptivity. It represents our intuitions. Water represents those things. So here we have the courage to stand in the feminine, receptive energy in that intuitive body. Now that could be a huge challenge for Virgo, but it's also a great opportunity to see the practicality of checking in with spirit, of going to my be, do, have. I'm being energy is thanking God or the angels for whatever experience I want, and then moving forward towards it with spirit leading the way. And you can feel how spirit leads the way because of the ease of the road. If it gets choppy, take a pause, and spirit will then give a natural opening to the next right step. Okay, that's what I have to say. On to our Leos. I don't know what happens with Leo every once in a while. I want to forget you. Don't know why. Okay. Okay, here we go. On to my Leos. Okay, first angel is Astera. Our second is Daniel. The third is Serena. And the final is Seraphina. Okay. Portia, are you saying you have Venus, Saturn, Mercury, and Gemini, and the Sun all in Gemini? Little confused. That would be a stellium in Gemini. I'd pay attention to that. Okay, here we go, Leo. Whoops. Camelot deck is a little sticky today. You know what? When it's trollish, that means that people are paying attention. I like it. And I'm learning how to practice leaving you to it small wildflowers. Okay, here we go. Astera, and we are joined by the Baird. Daniel is joined by the King. Ooh. Serena is joined by the Cat. And Serafina is joined by the Stag. Well, this is very interesting, my Leos. Astera says to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires and not to compromise. This is not about bulldozing other people. This is literally saying to Spirit, hey, I want this. I want this house. I want this relationship. I want whatever it is I want. And here is the Baird. Now, normally I'll think of the Baird as my history, the story that I tell myself, the unhappy road I've come from. But you know, the Baird also represents music and poetry and myth. And I feel like this is really a little bit for my Leos about standing in your vision boards, in standing in that place and using music to anchor yourself. I have playlists in my iTunes that literally when I'm, wanting to birth something, or I call one of my playlists Get Your Ass On Straight, because I have songs on it that really keep me in my vision, keep me in that I can do it, like the Let It Go song. I listened to that song the whole first year that I was birthing my practice. And all I could think about was how important it was for me to let some distance come between me and my fears. And then I started to see my fears not only get smaller, but when they were there to empower me. They empowered me because once I walked through them, I said, is that really true? Or is that just a story I'm telling myself? Because here in my angels, or in the opportunity, the obstacle is Daniel, the angel of marriage, and there's the King. Okay, very interesting for me. Okay, because I want to say that Daniel being the angel of marriage is not just about bringing you a partner. It's also about your story, the history you tell yourself in relationships. And then the King is not just about a partner or a man. It's also about justice and karma. Because I want to say for my Leo risings that while I could infer that many of you would like a relationship or would like the reboot of your relationships, I also think it has more to do than with just a relationship outside myself. And here in the angel's advice, I have Serena, the angel of abundance, and I have the Cat. And the Cat is about healthy boundaries, but it's Leo, right? So here's the Cat. And the Cat, I want to say, is 9 lives. And those 9 lives are allowing that whatever challenges you have endured towards your goals, they were meant to teach you. They were meant to give you resources. Sometimes if we endeavor something and it's so effortless that we never have a challenge, it's scary. Because we don't know what will happen if something bad happens. What will happen if I lose a client? I haven't experienced that. So will it take me all the way down the drain, or will I be able to be survived? That's partially what this is about. Your history is about supporting your dreams, making you stronger. Because in the final position is Serafina saying a happy change is coming to Leo's home. And there's the Stag, the card of leadership. Well, Leo, who rules you? The sun. What is the sun? The biggest leader in the sky. It is the King. It is the King. So I want to say this overall for my Leo rising, Leo moon, Leo sun, Leo stelliums. It's time to dance. It's time to reach for the stars and joyously celebrate what it is that you are about to experience. Because as you do that, I believe that it is a just time for this partnership to be birthed, because God is in charge of how that will happen. And even if you think that it's not possible, there's another life in there for you. And you're about to see, and you're about to break ground as a leader, to be happy maybe when you didn't think happiness was there, or to find a sense of purpose within yourself, or a sense of, how do I want to phrase it? Sometimes when we walk down a path and we get that opportunity for that hindsight is 2020, things make sense. And what was initially stinging and difficult becomes sort of a brow wiper. Thank God I averted that. Okay, I think that's it. Let's go on to Cancer. Okay. Okay, here we go. And real quickly, for those of you who are new to the show, every week I have an opportunity for you to win a half-hour free angel reading with me. You pick a number between 2 and 500. And if you pick it, first person to pick it, and you have 1 week to claim your prize, come back the next week when I make the announcement. And then you can just, well, it's fun. And we do a recap of the numbers that are out of play from the weeks ahead of time. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay. Cancer, first angel is Caressa. The second is Archangel Raphael. The third is Isabella. And the final is Indriel. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Here we go. Joining Caressa is the cat. Joining Archangel Raphael is the dog. Joining Isabella is the cow. And joining Indriel is the bird. Interesting. Okay, Cancer. Again, Caressa is the end of a life cycle. And she literally says, call on God and the angels to support you, to guide you, to comfort you as you walk through this chapter, the closing of this chapter. And then here we have the cat. Again, the cat is about independence. It's about healthy boundaries. But lately it has really resonated with me about the 9 lives. So here I want to offer that the cat is offering, supporting the idea that Caressa is saying that you're about to experience a shift in your life that will bring new life to you. It will make sense because here in the final position, I have Indriel and I have the history card in the form of the bird. Each week, and I'm going to probably talk about this until springtime next year, because I think even after the conjunction between Pluto and Saturn, we're going to be feeling it as Saturn moves away from Pluto. And obviously there's other planets that get involved. Because I feel like for my Cancers, I've always feel like my Cancers have been going through this really strong pruning in some ways and while things have been cut away, many things will grow back. And now it's time to start to have a bigger version of things. Allow yourself to see a springtime coming. And that's what I think Indriel and the Baird have to offer, is that somehow this story of my history can then turn into the music that is the voice of angels, because this is the light worker card. So let me go into my opportunity or my obstacle. The Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing. And the dog is the card of unconditional love, loyalty, and sincerity. Okay, so for Cancer, this is your opportunity and or your obstacle. And here is Isabella and the cow. This is in the angel's advice. This is a card of abundance. This is a card of nourishment. It's a card of asking and receiving. And this is a card, Isabella says, yes, the timing is right. So this is what I'm trying to say. There is a chapter ending, and I want to say this feels more on the interior, not necessarily on the exterior. So it could be, in some respects, your belief system. It could be how you've been walking through your emotional body and spiritual body that allows you to close a chapter and open a new chapter that gives new life, new love and reconciliation, a healing where you start to feel as if you are receiving more and getting more of what you wanted, which will then help make sense of the history that you have lived. I want to offer this idea because I say to people, sometimes when, I believe that light workers, and that's what Indriel represents, oftentimes have a challenging life path in the beginning, say the first 30, maybe even 40 years, because part of that challenge is so that as they triumph over that challenge, those that follow behind them can be inspired by their tenacity, their willingness to see a bigger picture than to be pulled back and be tanked. So if I look at my Cancers and I think about the idea of the moon represents our emotions. The moon represents our mother, it represents the feminine. So this is for me about new life for Cancers feeling, how can I put this? Feeling like they're their history has now served them in some way and allowed them to illuminate the new chapter and to feel a sense of more connection to the divine and more support from the divine. Okay, so that's how I'm going to go. All right, let's go on to our Geminis. Okay. Okay. Here we go, Gemini. Gemini rising, Gemini moon, Gemini sun, Gemini stelliums. Okay. Love breeze, isn't it a cat on a hot tin roof? Wasn't that what it was called? Okay, here we go. Our first angel is Archangel Uriel. The second is Francesca. The third is Isabella. And the final is Serena. Okay. All right, here we go. Joining Archangel Uriel is the goblin. Joining Francesca is the cat. Joining Isabella is the forgiveness card, and joining Serena is the death card. Woohoo! Gemini, yay, not so much. Okay, it's a little challenging. I'm not going to say it's not. I have Archangel Uriel and I have the goblin. My Gemini, moon, sun, rising signs, stelliums, you may be frustrated. You may be feeling just a little bit put out. You may be feeling a little bit hurt. This, we talked about the moon is entering Scorpio this week. That intensifies our feelings. So for me, I feel like that this is really a time when, okay, I'm going to go to Serena. So this is the final position here, right? So this is the death card, and Serena is the angel of abundance. When I look at this for my Geminis, this is an opportunity for transformation. It's an opportunity for you to kind of turn it over to a power greater than yourselves. That's what I want to say. Because when I see this combination, I don't know that you can physically move this. I don't know if you can come up against this and beat on it. I've got to turn to spirit, because here's Francesca saying, what do you visualize right now? It will come about. Negativity will block your progress. And then the cat is here. And yes, I've been talking about 9 lives, but I also want to talk about healthy boundaries here, because I feel like this is the thing for my Geminis. Whatever the challenge is that's rubbing up against your ego, I think it's about spirit coming in and being able to take over for you. I don't think you can really, you can't manage this on your own. This is in the angel's advice. Yes, the timing is right for a reconciliation, but that reconciliation comes that I've actually turned this over to spirit so that they can bring in the abundance and I can experience the transformation. This is this may be in some respects about, well, let me change that. I think this may have something to do with resources, with not just money that you make from your jobs, but the ease and flow of being able to get the things you need to move the story forward. And if indeed there have been blocks, because I want to say this for my Gemini, the goblin, it talks about the ego, but you could get triggered by this. So you'll go back and forth, wondering, am I right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I doing it right? And I feel like that's where you got to turn it over to spirit and say, give me a clear sign that yes, I'm moving in the right direction, or no, I need to shift a little bit. And then this is where the transformation will happen. And just because this is so challenging, I want to pull one more card for Gemini on the final position. And that's the truth card. Okay, so this is the thing. The truth is not necessarily about telling everybody what you think or what you feel. It's more about the truth of your own heart. So when Gemini is floating back and forth between yes, no, maybe, da-da-da, that's usually because there's too much of a peanut gallery. You're considering too many other people's opinions about what it is you want. So as you back that bus up and say, what is the truth of what I want, regardless of what anyone else wants? And then you go to Spirit and say, thank you for backing me up, giving me confirmation that that is indeed true. And this week's totem is bunny, right? So if I allow that animal totem to be prevalent, so if I'm moving in the right direction, show me those rabbits, show me that I am standing prolifically, that I am paying attention and being strategic and nurturing my intuitive and spiritual body, because that's also what rabbit represents. Okay, that's it for Gemini. A little challenging. Not going to say it's not, but sometimes those challenging weeks lead to really, really fulfilling weeks beyond them. Okay, here we go, Taurus. That's Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus stelliums. Here we go. Oop. Okay. Woohoo. Steve, you are so funny. All right, everybody, here we go. First angel is Aurora. The second is Layla. The third is Indriel. And the final is Daniel. Okay. Joining Aurora is the cat. Wow, is a cat coming out this week. I can't believe it. Here, joining Layla is the partnership card. Joining Indriel is the forgiveness card. And joining Daniel is the birth and the rebirth card. Okay. All right. So Aurora says that you're flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend. You will soon inspire them. The threatening thing for me is really more about thinking outside the box, thinking different than other people. When I tell people how I attract clients, they pretty much think I need to go to the loony bin. I don't necessarily spend money advertising as much as I go through my crown chakra to Spirit and say, all right, draw everyone that will best be served by my gifts and my talents. So I think for this week, and this healthy boundaries thing and this independence thing is allowing, I'm not even going to go with the 9 lives with the cat now. Now I want to say it's about independent thought, that you're flying high right now, my Tauruses. Allow yourself to have that independent thought, because as I go to the 4th position, I have Daniel, which is the angel of marriage, and I have the birth and the rebirth card. I believe that this is actually the marriage between the 2 sides of yourself. I think Taurus has been going through a pretty rough time since Uranus entered, its house, and there's been a lot of changes for some people. A lot of old structures have been blown up. And so in order to see the wisdom of it, it's like Daniel will also talk about my story. What am I bringing into a relationship? What have I experienced that I'm inadvertently, in an imbalanced way, bringing into the relationship? So if I've been with cheaters, am I looking and bracing for another cheater? No, this is an opportunity to have a rebirth in how I view partnerships, which then gives me a rebirth in how I view the partnership I have with myself. Because in my opportunity or my obstacle is the partnership card and Layla. Layla's what inspired me to want to give you guys animal totems, so that when you're out in nature and you see certain things, if you're out and you see a bunny cross your path, you'll pay attention to what the message that Spirit is trying to share with you, because there is something that Spirit is trying to tell you. Spirit is trying to reconcile the things that have happened to you, so that you can see the wisdom and the light that has been brought about by this change. Okay, so if indeed you have found yourself, no longer in a partnership, which has rocked your world and made you wonder, what's the meaning of all of this? There is a deeper meaning. And now is a time for Taurus to open up to a bigger idea. And it may not always be that your life is changing to be more challenged, but actually that some of the challenges that have been there are being moved out. And so a new road comes ahead, hence the birth and the rebirth in relationships. So it could potentially be a relationship with the current partner, or it could be a new relationship that starts as well. So I want to offer that for you. And I really want to kind of put Taurus on task. I'm a Taurus moon. So for me, when I look at Aurora and I look at thinking outside the box and I look at the independence, I want to trust my independent thought. Somehow I want to say, you know what? Maybe there's no evidence that my independent thought is correct or will bring me happiness, but I'm just going to give it an opportunity to show me before I jump into my fear bubble and run back to what used to be. Okay, here we go. Aries rising, moon, and sun, and stelliums. That's me. Oh, Stephen, you're right. People don't cheat when they're satisfied, especially, no offense, women don't cheat unless they're ignored or underappreciated. Rarely will a woman just go out and for sex. A woman wants romance. A woman wants to feel special. She wants to feel like everything fades to black when she walks in a room. So when the intimate relationship becomes routine, that's when you'll find a woman cheating. I also found that when women have children, sometimes their men become dad, they become dutiful. And so it's like, it's really, really important for a woman to treat her man like a man once the child is born, because the relationship between the father and mother is what keeps the child safe. So I think the more conscious any of us can be in our relationships and showing up the way we want someone to show up for us, that kind of can set a really powerful tone. Okay. Yes, sometimes dads are children too, but thank God for that. We need a childlike enjoyment in the world. Okay, here we go. Aries. Final, patient, Mars-ruled Aries. Okay. Our first angel is Archangel Raphael. The second is Ariel. The third is Rosetta. And the final is Vanessa. Okay. Woo. All right. Joining Archangel Raphael is the Hawk. Joining Ariel is the Birth and the Rebirth card. Joining Rosetta is the Letting Go card. And joining Vanessa is the Truth. Well, you know, it's just funny to me how the Truth card comes out so much as we go closer and closer to this conjunction, and which is asking for our deeper truth to come up. We don't talk much about it, but Chiron is transiting Aries right now. Sorry, I didn't put my phone on vibrate. And because Chiron is transiting Aries, Chiron represents the wounded healer, and Aries represents the self. So it's going to address whatever wounds we have in our self-image, and whatever planets are in Aries are going to get triggered by this transit. This transit's going to be going on for years. I don't know. It's kind of like Uranus. It's a very long transit. I'm saying all of this because I feel like for Aries, there's an opportunity for us to recognize. I say this now that I've met David Cochran. David Cochran has a theory that Aries is assertive because it's a truth seeker, because it doesn't want to stand in the BS of something that isn't authentic to its own soul. So this is where I see Archangel Raphael and the Hawk. Archangel Raphael says you are a healer. You have the ability to heal others. And here's the Hawk. The Hawk is about rising above a situation and seeing things from a broader picture. I believe that we all have an opportunity to be healers as we stand in our truth. We offer those around us the opportunity to stand in their truth. So here, this is in the opportunity. The obstacle is Ariel, my connection to spirit, and she says that as I connect to spirit, it changes the way I walk through my human experience. And here's the Birth and the Rebirth card. this is very powerful for me because, when I look at this, here's Rosetta and the letting go card. This is this childlike innocence, but it's also about parenting and teaching. Okay. The letting go card is Elsa going up the mountain. I say it, how many times in a broadcast? It's funny how some distance makes everything look small. The fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. That is typical Aries. Okay. And that is how you become the healer. That is how all this gets implemented. Because at the end of the day, here is Vanessa saying, are you going to take your actions based on faith or fear? And there's the truth card. Aries, during this next period of time, and I don't think it's just this week, that you have an opportunity to stand not only as a healer for others, but as a healer for yourself, as you rise above the picture, stand in above to the deeper truth. And as you stand, this is the thing about that warrior that Mars is. When I stand in my truth with faith, it's a leadership position. It's a position that offers for a rebirth. It offers for others to experience us and our truth, and thereby in many ways teaching them that Aries is not just here to lob off your head. Aries is not just here to be assertive and aggressive and tell you what they like and don't like, but to break the box for all of us so that we can then experience and express ourselves in our deepest truth. So this next few months, while it can be really challenging with this conjunction, it really offers us so much opportunity to break into new chapters of our lives, chapters that offer so much more happiness. And just imagine if we were all like 1% happier than we are today, the ripple effect that would have. That would give us the opportunity to be even happier a month from now. Maybe we'd be 2%. And then we start to see this ripple effect of people who are living closer to what brings them joy. And then we don't see road rage, man. We don't see people lobbing off other people's heads and crazy stuff like that. I mean, people are doing crazy stuff. Here in Laguna last week, some mother and son, they did not have a good ending. The mom literally lost her head. All right. That's crazy. I don't need to go there. But all right. So here it is this week. You guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We have this moon entering Scorpio. And I'm going to focus in on that this week because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Emotions may intensify, but they're only intensifying to ask us to go to our deeper truth. Our rabbit totem this week is asking us in many ways to be prolific, but prolific in nurturing our connection to spirit so that we may be standing as in service to all of us, not just of spirit, to ourselves and to those around us. Because when we stand on our deeper truth, we inadvertently give other people permission to stand in their deeper truth. So that's that. We did not have a winner this week for our game. The number was 176. Unfortunately, nobody picked it. So I hope you guys all give it another shot. We're going to wrap it up for today. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time with messages from your angels. And if you'd like to learn more about me or to book a reading with me, you can check out the information below and find me on Lada's website. I'm in the reader's menu and I'm available 24/7. Well, not quite, but pretty much. All right, guys, thank you so much. Sending lots of love to you all. May God and the angels watch over you this next week. Namaste.